Hey everybody, going to try to get caught up on some of these report cards over the next couple weeks, and we'll start with the 900 Global Zen. The obligatory shameless propaganda to get started. Follow the link in the description or at the end of the video for any of your bowling needs at Bowler's Mart. Supporting them supports me, and don't forget my code Rosdahl10 the next time you go to order anything at CoolWick to get 10% off. They're the ones that keep stuff like this coming. And besides that, they're just awesome, and I mean they have a Space Cat jersey. Who doesn't want a Space Cat jersey? And 10% off that Space Cat jersey. If you haven't seen one of these, it's basically checking in a couple months after the initial review. Did I read it right? How do we feel about the ball now? What have we learned about it? How often do we use it, etc.? Went with a little different layout on it for me, 4.5 by 5 by 2.5, so pretty strong pin up, and I misjudged just how strong the ball was, or at least how strong the core was, so despite it looking good filming for the review, it ran me into a lot of problems after, mostly because of just throwing it bad, but I didn't get any help out of it either. For as smooth of a ball as it is, it's got a deceptive amount of strength and can be smooth or fairly sharp depending on the bowler, where you throw it, how you throw it. S77 response pearl cover puts it in about phase 3 cover territory, or R3S/R3X, with the incredibly strong symmetric meditate core, which reminds me a lot of the Centripetal HD core from the Sonic and Supersonic. It really wants to get going and revving up early. For me, that ended up giving me some angle issues. It's strong and early enough that I needed to get deeper to get it down the lane, but my poor layout choice then made it a little too slow getting back, and adding angle on the left side is wonky with anything to begin with. Even with the Zen Master going with my typical pin and ring layout, that still got the core started up too early, so if and when we see a Zen hybrid, which I think is probably inevitable, I'm going to have to go pin down to put it in a more usable zone for me. The Zen isn't quite magic for me like it is for everyone else, at least not after it got my hopes up during the review, but I think I'm going to have to try it again with a different layout because it's constantly on back order for a reason, and I want to be in the cool kids club. The blend of strength and boom and control and how it seems to react very similar from house to house and condition to condition makes it extremely versatile and usable on a lot of things for a lot of bowlers. For Angel, it represents how it looks and acts for the majority of people out there. Her layout is 4 5/8 by 3.5 by 2.5, and if you haven't seen the recent Hustle wine video, this is still the same hole placement she always uses, but I mentioned in the wine video that her axis point changed, so that changed all her layout numbers. She's pretty average speed and average revs. That seems to be the group the Zen works the best for. Obviously not saying it doesn't look good for everyone else too, or that it's going to be amazing for you if you're in that group. There's no absolutes in bowling by a long shot, but that seems to be the group it clicks the best for. It's kind of a staffer's best friend to describe because it can do a lot of things. It doesn't have one specific direction or facet or reaction characteristic that dominates the rest. It's firm on friction, but not super quick or violent. It's smoother in the oil, but not weak. It just doesn't hit the oil and skate. It's pretty rolly, so it's very controlled all the way down the lane. It starts rolling and revving early enough that it doesn't do something like hit 30 feet and really start winding up hard, but it doesn't rev up quick and have nothing left for the end of the lane either. I think it's very much an evolution of something like the Marvel Pearl, which shared a lot of the same descriptions and reaction characteristics, and it does share a lot in common with the Axiom Pearl too, but I think the Zen universally gets the nod or the check mark in a straight up competition there. It's just more versatile. I don't throw the Zen anymore. It wasn't better for me than a lot of other balls, and you have to understand that with as many balls as we go through, there's a lot of good ones that don't see much action because there's something else we prefer, or that's better for us, not better in general. Better when it comes to ball reactions, a completely relative term to begin with. I, for example, quite prefer the Idle Synergy. It's pretty rolly itself, but has a cleaner cover and doesn't start up so early, which works better for me. Angel throws a bunch of stuff in this zone, but the Zen doesn't quite make it past the first game, and then the lanes start transitioning too much for her, so she usually ends up with an IQ, hustle, or burner that'll keep her in business longer. Still, the Zen stays on back order constantly for a reason, like I said, and it's easy to see why. I think I'll drill one pin down to see if it solves my problem there, and I think it probably will. Thanks for watching, and may the strikes be with you.